we've really, I think, done a great job in the past. The history of Sullivan County, and particularly networks, and the leadership coming together. We've shown we can work together. We've shown that we can build great product in establishment of some industrial parks and some initiatives for economic development. Certifying our sites, Bristol certainly being a gigabit community, the entire county being recognized as a connected community by Connected Nation and Connected Tennessee. We have a lot of very good things to market, but we haven't really established what our brand is. And the concept for our brand came with the fact that we were a leader, that we were actually the first community in Tennessee to have the infrastructure for a gigabit community in Bristol, that we had the Educate and Grow Sullivan County program, which when I was in Gallatin, Tennessee, we mimicked in Sumner County. We just stole that idea. It was such a good one. And now the governor's Tennessee Promise program is basically the Educate and Grow Sullivan program, about providing 2 years of community college or technical school training for any graduate in Tennessee schools. And so we were a leader on many, many fronts. And we're also in this gorgeous mountainous area where the sun comes up over Tennessee first. And we're also in the Eastern time zone, which much of Tennessee is not, and which has been a bit of an adjustment for me. So we came up with the tagline, Sullivan County, where Tennessee begins its business day. And I think it's a powerful tagline, it's a powerful message. As I often have said, and we continue to say when explaining our philosophy of branding and what branding is, it's not a logo, it's not a slogan. Your brand is what people think of when they think of you. So you can't come up with just a clever tagline. You have to come up with a tagline that makes sense, that is the truth. And when you look at our history of establishing unique initiatives for economic development, being the first community, first county in Tennessee that has 3 certified industrial sites through the Select Tennessee Site Certification Program, all the infrastructure work that we've done, we are a leader. And we need to get that brand out there to site location consultants, to companies, and to our partners and regional economic development organizations, and with the state's Department for Economic and Community Development. And I think where Tennessee begins its business day is a very positive brand, and it's certainly one we can back up with our facts. And well, one of our real differentiating advantages to a lot of communities and region is our training facilities. We have excellence colleges and universities throughout the county and the region, and that certainly workforce is always a top issue on every project. It might not be the #1 issue, but it's in the top 5 of every project I've ever worked. And so we have a strong workforce in the area within an easy drive of Sullivan County and certainly Bristol. And we have great training facilities, and working with universities, colleges, training facilities such as the RCAM, the Regional Center for Advanced Manufacturing. We can customize programs to fit certain industry types, and our schools have proven that they can do that, and will continue to do that. That's one of the things that we certainly want to show off and want to use to separate us from other communities. We're seeing some medium to larger size projects looking at the area. We're also seeing a lot of smaller projects. I think for a healthy, robust economy, you have to kind of diversify your portfolio. You know, one of the things about our region is, of course, the 800-pound gorilla here, if you will, has always been Eastman. It's a tremendous employer with over 7,000 people, but you can't live and die by one industry. And we certainly have some other large industries and large companies and great employers. and we need to just keep adding to that. One of the things we're also focusing on is our existing industry services, to try to stabilize the industry base that is here and help them grow and show them programs that are available for them that they might not know are there for them. One of the things that I think we need to reach out and to our industries and market a whole lot more is the foreign trade zone that we have in this county. I've met with 3 industries recently, just having a chat, and one after another, bang, 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 as they tell me, all 3 of them I think are great candidates to get benefit from our foreign trade zone, but didn't have a high level of awareness about it. So we're trying to now go back with them, do kind of a down and dirty spreadsheet for them to show them what a utilization of foreign trade zone would mean to their bottom line on an annual basis. So there are many, many things we have that can help stabilize that existing industry. But we are seeing some larger projects. By larger, I mean between 300 and 600 jobs. But you know, those are all in the very early stages right now. And the important thing, well, it's very important to land projects when you get them, but the important thing is to keep replenishing that pipeline of projects, because in economic development, you have very low batting averages when you get projects, because there are thousands of organizations trying to compete for the same projects. So you got to just keep replenishing the pipeline is the key. It's a numbers game, and to do that you have to be outside marketing. You have to have a good brand. You have to have your 30-second elevator speech, and that's what we've established here. We're doing a lot of events, going to a lot of events with site location consultants. We're also this August going to host a dozen or so site location consultants to come to our area for a couple of days and then take them to the Bristol Night Race. And so we're using our assets and all the great things that we have here to bring people in to view our area too, people who have a lot of projects, and a lot of projects that are very much within our target markets and that would be good fits for Sullivan County and Northeast Tennessee. Well, Gigabit does open up a lot of entrepreneurial opportunities, and I'm working with some of the city leaders. I'm certainly not the lead on it. Networks isn't the lead on it, but people within the economic development department at the city are looking at entrepreneurial enhancement and encouragement, and maybe exploring an incubator, accelerator, and that type of thing. I think the Gigabit advantage could tie into that very much. It also very much ties into one of our target industries, which is data centers. And I think that throughout the county we could have data centers. I think particularly in Bristol, though, particularly in the BTS industrial park, would be a great place to kind of have a little data center cluster because of the incredible fiber connectivity that is available there. That infrastructure can't be found just anywhere. And data centers are great projects. They make huge investments. They don't employ a ton of people compared to a lot of manufacturing, but the people they do employ are very well paid and generally become a very big part of the community, and they're really good preferred employers. And again, they make a tremendous investment on a real estate standpoint. So data centers is something that we very much are aligning ourselves with and going after. In fact, we're marketing directly to some consultants that specialize in data center projects. So we do want to use the Gigabit advantage. The whole connectivity and broadband, there are a ton of companies that don't necessarily need the Gigabit, but need good, solid fiber and many times redundant services, and we have that. Being certified by Connected Nation and Connected Tennessee as a connected community is, again, it's one of our unique attributes. It's also one of the things that we are first in, as again, to our tag of being a leader, and that we are the first county in Tennessee to have this designation. We are, as we sit here today, there are less than 24 communities across the country that have this designation. So it's very unique and makes that statement. It gives you that third-party validation that you do have the appropriate infrastructure, as the state certified site program, the Select Tennessee program does. So yes, the gigabit, the overall infrastructure that we have here, particularly in technological infrastructure, is very strong, and so we're going to use that to target industry sectors that need that. You know, more and more communities are doing things, more and more communities are upgrading infrastructure in terms of broadband and fiber. They're also doing things in terms of more and more communities are trying to establish foreign trade zones. More and more communities are going through the site certification program and buying land and certifying sites. So everybody is always doing that. So you have to figure out what you have to do. A few things. You do have to try to be the first to market it while you have something they don't have. You also have to be saying and asking yourself, what is next? What's the next big thing that we can do that people will be chasing us to try to catch up with us? But even as these people catch up, you have to be making the statement that we were first. Because that's the key, because that makes a statement. Companies want to go to communities that are the first to make those investments in their infrastructure, that are business friendly, that are always looking out over their horizon to see what's the next thing they can do to help businesses grow in that community. So even if we were to wave a magic wand and give all the other communities the gigabit community stamp, we were still the first in Tennessee to have that infrastructure, and we're still market it. Even when everybody else has it, we're still say, look, we're always out in front. So you can go to a follower, but you're better off going to the leader. And again, I think that all circles back to the "Where Tennessee Begins Its Business Day" tagline, and that's what makes it a powerful message. I think it's our story. And it's a great story. It's just a matter of getting the right people to hear it and understand it and know it and believe in it, and then ultimately invest in it.